my parents just celebrated their 53rd wedding anniversary this week. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take the credit for that. Kind of hard to split up when your kid's always in rehab. I asked my dad, I was like, what's the secret to such a long, happy marriage, Dad? And he's like, well, every night before I go to bed, I just get on my knees and pray that the good Lord won't let me wake up in the morning. He's a great guy, though. He's great. If maybe he had raised Emily, she would have come up here and said some of the stuff that she was saying. Okay, I'm just kidding. You're doing great. So I told my dad, so like when I was like 16 or 17, I went to rehab for the first time. I'm a frequent flyer as well as Andrew. You know, I really enjoyed some of those jokes. Way too much, because the guy in the front row got a little scared at my laughing. I think keep coming back. I thought it was the funniest thing. Like, no, it's not like a membership thing. Well, I guess kind of. I don't know. So anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. So anyway, so I was in high school, and I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, I think I've got a drug and alcohol problem. And my dad was like, Ashley, drugs, alcohol, don't you know things like that don't make your problems go away? Look at me. I've been drinking over half my life. Your mother, still here. He just doesn't leave. So then I was always in and out of treatment facilities in high school, and then I moved to Chicago when I was about 30 years old. And Chicago is the most depressing place that you could ever live if you're, I don't know, if you don't like the cold. Like, it's just, and everybody's killing each other. You know, it's awful. You guys know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It's a horrible place. It's somewhere that you don't want to go if you've got problems. But anyway, so I go there, and I decide this is where I'm going to get sober and I'm going to quit drinking, okay? And I got fired from my job, which was heartbreaking, right? Because I'm sober, I've just lost my job. Normally people lose their jobs and they get depressed, but when you're sober, it doesn't really matter because you're already sad. And I called my dad, I'm like, I think I'm depressed, Dad. I think I've got depression. And he's like, depressed? Ashley, we didn't raise you to be happy, we raised you to be Catholic. I love my parents. I've got some great parents. They're very funny. We're from they're from Pennsylvania, but I grew up in Hermitage. Is anybody here a local? No, really? Where are you guys from?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Or Chicago by way of Louisiana.
Oh yeah. Okay. What brings you to Nashville?
To get away from the cold and then
Okay.
the taxes.
The taxes. Oh yeah. Okay. Do you drink alcohol?
On occasion.
Well, if you were an alcoholic, you would know that our sin taxes are ridiculous. Do you know what a sin tax is? Does anybody know what a sin tax is? Oh my God, I get to tell you something you don't know. Okay, so in Nashville, we have a tax for anything that is deemed a sin. So we have, yes. That's what people say when I wait on them too. Yeah. So we charge you extra every time you drink or you buy a cigarette, if you're still doing that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So enjoy Nashville for as long as you can until you remember that next time you drink. Oh God, Nashville is just robbing me blind, but we love it because there's the sun. How are we doing? How's everybody doing? You guys having a good time? Yeah, laughing at people's problems. It's always fun, or too sometimes. I don't know. I guess maybe it's not always fun. It can be really mean. Anyway, so I was depressed. I was living in Chicago, and okay, so I'm moving back home. I want to be closer to my parents. I want to be there for them. I want to be close to them because I love them, and then they want me to be close to them so that I can hear them complain about each other all day, every day. My parents are 74 and 73 years old, and all they do is just talk crap about each other all the time. It's absolutely hilarious. When I go visit them, their house is always like 80 degrees. Like, it's like hell inside my parents' house. Like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys preparing for the afterlife here? Like, sorry, Dad, it's not going to be that easy. You're not going to get away from her. But anyway, so it was funny. Hannah was talking about a crazy guy, and I just went through a breakup. And turns out he was gaslighting me for a really long time. Maybe you heard about him. But it's funny because I'm like 36 years old and going through a breakup is a lot different now than it was in my 20s. Okay, right? Like, in your 20s, you're a train wreck, you know? In your 30s, you're kind of trying to get off the train at least a little bit. So we broke up, And like at 26 years old, I would have been like, oh no, I guess I'll just go get my job back at Hooters, right? Like, find me a guy who loves chicken and Ludacris. Oh no. Now I'm 36, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just start hanging out at church more, find me a guy who loves the Lord and his lawn. Change my life. Get a guy with a 401k. I date losers. Guys who don't even know, like, 401k? What is that, girl? Is that like a marathon in Europe? I don't run from anything but commitment and the police, little girl. What are you talking about? I've got bad luck with guys. Yeah, so it's different. Like, I worked at a Rivergate Hooters for about 12 years. We were located next to a roadway inn. Like, I wanted to get high, I just came in and clocked into work. Like, I was the best Hooter girl every 4 to 6 hours. Fun fact about Nashville, we've got a huge opioid, oh my god, I can't even say it. That's how excited I am. We have a huge opioid epidemic. Does anybody know what that is? Yeah, it means you can walk into any ER and not get anything at all, except maybe a record deal. Like that's what living in Nashville is like. But yeah, it's weird going through a breakup and having to like cope, you know, because like used to I would just, you know, I would call like a drug dealer and just pretend to be really interested in him, you know, and smoke all his weed. And now, you know, right, maybe do some of his blow. I don't know, whatever he's talking about, but now like things are different. I don't do that. I'm a good girl. So I go to therapy. Because that's what good girls do. I have to pay somebody to be interested in talking to me. I just tell her about my problems. Like, here, fix this. It didn't work. I keep trying and it doesn't work. And it's funny because like I expected when I went to therapy that my girlfriends would be like, oh no, you're fine. You're cool. There's no problem. But instead they were all like, yeah, how soon? And I guess I'm angry and I didn't realize it. Like, I guess you can go through life, be mad and think that you think you're happy, but then you're not. Like, I broke up with him and then I texted him and was like, if you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna burn all your stuff. What? What, Ashley? What did we just say? I'm gonna burn his stuff? I'm gonna burn his couch? How am I gonna do that? Like, that's ridiculous. How am I gonna burn his couch? I live on the second floor of an apartment building. Like, what? Like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make myself homeless. That'll show him that I am better off without him, right? Like, what? How do you even start dating again after you do something like that, right? Like, I go out on a date with a guy and he's like, tell me about your last relationship. What happened? I'm like, well, never gonna believe this. He got crazy and I had to commit a felony. They were gonna give me house arrest, but no house. All right, I'll wrap it up. Okay, so I don't do 12 steps anymore, but I used to do a 12-step program. And the last time that I was at a meeting, I was sitting next to this woman, and she said to me, like, oh, my life was so awful, it's so bad out there. That's what they call it, out there. My life was so bad out there, you know, like I was drinking, and I had never had any food, I didn't have anything to eat, and I was living under a bridge with my husband. And I was like, oh, God, lady, get over yourself. You were married and you were thin. Stop bragging. And then one of my girlfriends who I went to rehab with, she took up heroin when we got out of rehab. And her mom called me because she started to like shoot up in her foot. She almost lost her foot. And it's real sad because she's a really pretty girl. And guys used to be able to chase her, man. And now they don't have that far to go. She's got like 1 foot in the grave, you know what I mean? So I said to her, I was like, hey, why don't you come with me and we'll do the 12-step program thing together? And she was like, ugh, I don't know, 12 steps. It's a lot of walking. All right, thank you so much, guys. I'm Ashley Courtney. Thank you.